number one film is a made-for-television film. In 1979, saw it as a kid. It made an indelible impact on me. Stars Lavar Burton, Paul Sorvino, Brian Dennehy. It's really basically a two-hander, though. Sorvino and Lavar Burton. Two of the best performances ever in anything, okay? Honestly, I really do believe it is at that level. It's called Dummy.
I just want a fall guy, and don't call him a dummy in my presence again. I am going to put him away.
Paul Sorvino is playing a deaf attorney who can speak. He lost his hearing sometime around 8, 9, or 10 when he was still able to speak. And has a sister, has a law firm that helps, with the deaf and so forth. And his sister will help him in the sense he can read lips well, but you have to talk directly to him. What's so powerful about this film? I mentioned LeVar Burton and Paul Sorvino, Brian Dennehy's in it as well, is also what is missing from so many films and TV today. Location, location, location. It's set in Chicago and shot in Chicago. It's fucking brilliant, man. The way that those are the projects. Ida B. Wells, Robert Taylor Holmes on the South Side, maybe Caprini Green. You know what I mean? These elements of it are a character in the film. It's very real, it's the veracity's off the charts. Now, it's a made-for-television film, right? It's not perfect. It doesn't have the budget level in certain areas. There's some cheesy things with the music and things like this. But where to start? Starts out focusing. LeVar Burton's basically in the entire film. His name is Donald Lang. He's a young man who is deaf and mute, has no way to communicate, never learned sign language, apparently can't read or write either, so he can't write that out. But he has his own way of communicating. He lives with his brother and sister. He just kind of shows his daily he works in the docks, the stockyards or somewhere. He works there. He likes to go out at night, sometimes have a few beers, and he picks up women, usually prostitutes. This particular prostitute is found dead the very next morning, and he's the last person seen with her. Of course, he's a suspect, and he's arrested. Enter Paul Sorvino's character, whose name is Lowell Myers. He is, because he specializes in dealing with the deaf, he's given the case to defend Donald Lang. And it opens up the first scene, so much like Goodfellas. That first scene is so important. And of course, great actors understand this, like himself.
Nobody's ever done anything for Donald.
I can speak for myself. Then you'll have to look at me when you do so that I can read your lips, or else my sister will have to translate for me.
That's why they pick you to be the lawyer? Huh? Because you're deaf?
Yes. I specialize in the legal problems of the deaf, and the court assumes that I would be the best one to help your brother.
It's not what you would think, right? When we first see Paul Vario, Uncle Paulie, it doesn't even say a word. Doesn't say anything, right? We first see Lowell Myers, and the brother, Donald Lang's brother, is just bitching and moaning, because race is a big part of it. Race is a big part of this story. It's a big part of the, Chicago PD. Guys have been known to be, killed in custody. Oh, it was an accident, whatever. This happened in Milwaukee when I was there. The Milwaukee Police Department was notorious for it. You think of, by today's standards, it was rough back then, and of course, Donald Lang's brother is like, of course they wanted to, Donnie wanted her to fly, but they want to set him up. And what's left, and it's left unsaid. They're not banging you over the head with it, but clearly race is a part of this. And Paul Sorvino's character is just kind of smiling. He's just smiling. And it's a great thing. And it's saying, you know, I know you're angry. I know you're upset. But I can't understand you unless you look at me and talk and slow down, you know. In other words, he's saying your anger won't help. But I can at least help to do something here, you know. And it's kind of a more subtle version of what he does later on when he has to go kind of into the hood, you know, the south side. I think it's near Robert Taylor Homes. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's the location's on the south side, I think. At least that's some of the wide shots, establishing shots. And, you know, when he has to ask these guys at the bar, you know, like I said, you know, I love that sequence. I'm trying to help Donald, you know, and it's a good thing. You should help me too, you know, because they're giving him shit. You know, the big guy wants him to buy some drinks. They're just busting his balls. And he handles it so beautifully, you know. And then there's another scene in the courtroom where, again, the racism part comes in. The detectives that busted him that think he did it, you know, there's one detective in particular who Donald just can't stand because of his attitude. He just knows that he's a racist and thinks he did it no matter what, you know. He's made up his mind and he just has anger towards him. And she has an outburst in the courtroom. And again, the way Sorvino, you know, just puts his hand on his cheek, you know. Donald, you have to be calm, you know, and it just...
Listen, you have to try to be calm. You have to try to be calm. Very calm.
There's just so many ways that his character, or he as an actor, has his character communicate with Donald, that they're both on this level. Again, you know, I said that I can't think of another film, even though it's a made-for-television film, where two actors are so in sync. I mean, you'd have to almost go to, you know, something like, I don't know. There's elements of it in the Great Russian War film, Come and See, with the young kid and the young girl, you know, that they're just so raw and honest, you know. Or something like Sophie's Choice, you know, with Kevin Kline. And of course, you know, Sophie, Meryl Streep, you know, they're just both so powerful. Such great work in that film. This is at that level. I mean, you know, they can't... LeVar Burton can't speak in the whole fucking film. Come on. The degree of difficulty is off the charts. Think about it. You know, I mean, and what Sorvino's doing to get through to him. It's so subtle, but you get it, right? It's almost like he's... you know, it's almost through osmosis. He's osmosis his performance. Like, you just get it. You know, I mean, it's so hard to do. I mean, he has to stay in character the whole time with the voice, and he has to use his body in a certain way, but he can't be too big because he's already a big man. And then, you know, too much motion, you know, kills it, you know, and it's just so powerful in that way. I can't say enough positive things about this. He has a few scenes, and he's a big man, too. I think he was about 6'4". There's a scene where he has to go, you know, the characters... LeVar Burton's character's name is Donald Lang. Lowell Myers is the character's name, Paul Sorvino. He has to go into the hood, basically. And if you know Chicago, where he's going, it ain't no picnic, man. I mean, these Midwesterns, you know, I'm doing this in L.A., but, I mean, you know, you can talk Imperial Gardens, you can talk South Central all you want. When you go back to places like Chicago, or East St. Louis, or North St. Louis, or parts of Detroit, or Milwaukee, and the murder rate is way high. I mean, these are insanely dangerous cities. Mounting a defense, he has to interview people. He has to go, you know, see, you know, who saw what. And he goes to the bar, and there's, you know, It's in a black section of town. These guys are rough. And the other thing I love about this film is you could see executives, let's make them more palatable to a white audience. Like the brother and all these characters, Donald Lang's brother. I mean, this is a black neighborhood. It's a black city in many ways, and we're not going to shy away from that. We're not going to soften the edges or make them sound like Boots Riley's film. Sorry to bother you. We're not going to talk with our white voice. You know what I mean? I mean, he's in the hood, man, and he's having to interview some of these guys, and they're giving him static. And this one really big dude is like, oh, listen, man, you know what? You're going to buy us all a drink, I love how the way Sorvino sells it, too. It's so brilliant.
Long in here. Why don't you get going?
You don't have to go nowhere. What's the matter with you? Trying to run away our choice customers? This is my main man. And to show how friendly he is, he's going to buy us all a drink. Won't you find out what everybody's drinking so a man can take care of it? Just ask what everybody's drinking and,
I'm trying to do something here for someone you might know. It's a good thing to do, and I would appreciate it if you would let me do it.
all right, brother. All right.
Thank you.
And that's a good thing. You should help me, And that's a good thing, And he just catches the guy off guard because he's just talking real to him. Listen, man, I'm here to help your buddy. The guy and that's a good thing. And he thinks, okay, brother, and so they help, they cooperate. I just think it's a great scene, there's so many things like it, you just wouldn't feel that authenticity today. What these guys are doing non-verbally is astounding, and it's very, if you're of Italian descent or, like my grandfather, my maternal grandfather is from Molise, there's a way that he just touches, right, Lavar Burton, his character, the way he puts his hand on him, the way he leads him, he has a patience, he has a certain spiritual connection with him that he's able to relate, and he's able to understand him very quickly. He realizes that it's very, he compliments LeVar Burton's character that, you realize I'm like you too. I can't hear, That scene when he's first visiting him in jail, and he completely disarms Donald Lang, and they become a team. They work together, man, And it's just another acting showcase on how he does that. He's using all the elements at his disposal to create this character in an amazing way. Everything's kind of leading up to the courtroom scene to get Donald Lang a court date, because basically, the court and the DA and so forth have decided that he's incapable of mounting a defense, and therefore he's kind of left in limbo. No, it is fucking not. This is not a white savior movie. Paul Sorvino and LeVar Burton, those characters, Lowell Myers and Donald Lang, they are partners. They are working together.
Sounds too good. Nobody's that pure.
Nobody black.
Come off it. I'm on Donald's side. I don't care what color he is, and you know it. He grew up in this tough neighborhood. He survived. I would like to know how.
How you gonna find out?
By asking questions.
As best that Donald Lang can, he is in the entire film. This is not the white guy coming in and saving him. He is just making a case, And I think that they have an affinity with each other and a warmth, that you can see and feel. Donald trusts this guy, white or black, and he convinces Donald's brother too.